Good evening and welcome to the 5-8, where we take 5 of the week's most fucked up topics and discuss them for 8 minutes each. 5 topics, 8 minutes, 2 hosts, a guest, some singing, a lot of curse words, and as many cocktails as we deem necessary. LB, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I think I'm okay. I have a very pressing question to ask you that I think is on everyone's mind watching the show, tuning in right now.
Okay.
Barbie or Oppenheimer? Which one?
Oppenheimer, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same. I tried to do a little Barbie Oppenheimer, like Barbenheimer wardrobe thing. I don't really have a pink shirt.
I saw that.
Got
but
purple.
it was coming out white. It wasn't coming out pink. Yeah.
It's very Barbie colored in real life, but that's how it's gonna be. So, it's okay. I'm excited. We're going to go see Oppenheimer tomorrow, and
oh, good.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: they bombed Japan.
Yeah. They bombed Japan. Yeah. We have a little bit of a travel to do to go to a theater. Not bad, actually, but hopefully it'll be on there. I think that's us in the background from upstairs, so maybe they'll hear me say this. I don't know if you guys can hear that. All right. What are you drinking? You drinking your Manhattan?
I'm drinking my Manhattan. A couple of quick things before we dive into the meat of the show. Or do you have quick
I'm drinking vodka tonic, so I wanted to let everybody know I am having a little vodka tonight. A little liquid courage.
Okay.
For my segment.
Let's anything that lubricates the segment, I think, is good. It's good. The social lubricant is booze, as we know. Yeah.
Before we dive in,
I just have a couple of quick things. First, anybody that gets the title of the show, which is Incident on 57th episode, that's Springsteen thing. Yeah, nobody's going to know this, but
I didn't know it.
I know, maybe very.
I also didn't look at the title of the show, even though I'm on the show and it's our show.
Yeah, well,
I didn't have time.
And I'm going to say this in the announcements later, but next week, is episode 58 of the 5-8.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but I feel like we should do something special.
We should do something special.
Yeah.
Yeah. It means
like
nothing. But we'll do something
squared.
special.
5-8 squared.
I might be somewhere special.
You may.
I might. We'll see what happens.
Interesting.
A little intriguing.
And then the other thing right up front, I don't know if you heard that the FDA approved the over-the-counter birth control, right?
I did not.
Well, the FDA approved over-the-counter birth control. And apparently,
lovely.
One of the pharmaceutical companies, I'm not sure which one, you can get them shaped like Leonard Leo, Sam Alito, or Ron DeSantis. It's great. It's good stuff. You could just pluck that down. Wonderful thing.
Oh, I don't want to be thinking about that.
I know.
I don't want the unfuckables in my birth control. I'd like to have a little bit of fun. And they are downers. That's for sure.
They are.
All right. Are you ready to jump in?
No, I need you to have more vodka first. Let's see that vodka tonic that I forgot to ask you about.
I have already had a little bit because I didn't eat much today. I am determined to lose some weight here. All right. I'm putting on the timer.
You putting on the timer?
First.
Okay. Yeah. First topic, Texas Uber Alice. Texas is just, we're at the stage now, I think, in general, where like, I just look at what's going on and I just can't believe it. Like that we've gotten this far, and the frogs in the pot, and the pot is like, it's really getting hot now, kind of like the water off the coast of Florida. Like it's really hot now, uncomfortably hot. And we're frogs there. And we're like, well, my skin is getting all pink. I don't know what's happening. And it's just very strange. Texas is insane. It's lost its mind. It's just this week there's women testifying who couldn't get an abortion, because of the draconian, ridiculous anti-woman law there. They're telling these horror stories, just horror stories. Like what human being could listen to that stuff and think that this is a good idea? I don't give a shit what religion you belong to or whatever, but come on, man. This isn't a religious thing. This is an anti-woman thing. And, they, what did you do?
I just spilled my drink in my lap.
Ah!
all over my lap. It's very cold. It
It's
cooled me
very
down.
cold.
It's
It's
a little
good.
bit. It
I think
cooled
you
me
need a
down.
little calming. You need a little calming down already. I can
Oh
tell.
my God, my whole drink.
Your whole drink is in your lap.
Yeah.
So you've got the abortion thing, which is cuckoo, right? And we all knew
Right.
this would happen. Everybody said Kavanaugh is going to get there. They're gonna overturn Roe. No, no, no. The Republicans said, yeah, they fucking did it. And now they're coming after everything. And who's
Yeah.
suffering? The women are suffering. This is insane.
Yeah.
And Greg Abbott with that stupid fucking grin on his face, like everything is just great in Texas. Dude, your power goes out all the fucking time, and it was 125 degrees last week. That's like not great. That's the other
Yeah.
thing. It's not exactly the wettest state. That's not being a wet thing is going to be a theme of this. And then so you have the climate change stuff is coming to Texas like kind of big time, and they're not doing a damn thing about it that I can see other than drilling
Right.
more oil and enriching the fossil fuel people. The attorney general who's been there for years and has been under federal indictment for like what 5 years now, something like that.
Forever.
Or they're trying to impeach him. What the fuck? I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
I
It's like
don't
slow
know.
as molasses. And now we have this news about what they're doing at the border to the people kind of coming to the country, and it's like, they have barbed wire in the fucking Rio Grande, and people are being ordered to throw the children back in the river. Like
It's gonna.
this is a guy who's supposed to be Catholic. He's supposed to be a fucking Jesus guy who likes to do here's what Jesus would. I'm not a big religious person anymore, but I went to church long enough, and you could ask your dad this. I'm pretty sure he'll confirm. Jesus never said, throw the children into the barbed wire so they get caught in on it and drown. I'm pretty sure that's not a big Jesus thing. I may be wrong. I'm not a theologian, but I don't think that's something that Jesus would kind of be into. Not great.
No.
I'm missing something else on my list that I don't even know what it is. With these stormtroopers and people. Now, the problem with Texas, apparently, I had Jen Murcia on my podcast today, who's wonderful, and she will come on the 5-8 at some point, which would be terrific. And she's in Texas. She's at Texas A&M, where the president just got shit canned today. We had to resign or whatever today because of stuff that happened. And I said, like, what's up with Texas, man? What's going on there? And she said, basically, Texas is a non-voting state. People just don't vote there for whatever reason. And the facts bear this out. I looked it up, and the last election, not this past, but like in 16, it was like 59%. That's the lowest in the country voted in Texas. Now, I know that there's a lot of, voter suppression going on, but some of it is just, I don't know if it's just people too lazy or they don't know how or what, but the key to winning the whole shebang and having this be an electoral college landslide is to get people in Texas to vote. Jen even suggested having people move to Texas and register to vote, which probably would also work because like so few people vote. I think it would take like 9 of us to go there and it would be fine.
Well,
but this is something because this Greg Abbott guy is really, he's just fucking evil. I don't like throwing words around like that often because it's like, oh, Greg's just being hyperbolic or whatever. But I mean it. He's an evil man. He's just evil. I mean,
there's something very disturbing about him that's going on. I will say this because I felt like it was Texas. I feel like Kansas, where I was in Wichita as a kid, is Texas adjacent because it's just sort of Oklahoma and then the Panhandle and then the weirdness. And I will say that people talk politics all the time, but if you ask them on especially on election day, did you vote? Have you voted? Did you vote? They just go blank and kind of mumble. And I've said this before, they kind of disappear and go away. And when Trump came down that escalator and said what he said, which is not unrelated to what you just went through of what's going on in Texas, same mindset. I knew he was going to win because I'm like, all those people are going to come out and vote. So I'm not to say that Texas doesn't vote, but there is a voting block in Texas that were maybe non-voters that he speaks to, and we're able to get motivated enough. And I'm talking about folks my generation and older, where it's they maybe didn't know how to register to vote and were too intimidated to admit that. They don't know how to engage with the government in any way other than getting their checks if they are in want some kind of program that gives them a check. Then they're really fluent in how to work the government systems. But a lot of this would be resolved if when people went to go get their driver's licenses, they just got an automatic registration to vote when they turned 18. All of that would work out. Although I guess, of course, because they could move or whatnot, or maybe you're in the system and it's just making it easier for folks to be registered and taking away that sort of, I don't know how to do it. And I don't want to admit that I've been, for these folks, I don't think they wanted to admit that they'd spent their entire adult life spewing politics, but had never voted. It's a shameful thing. And to go and admit that and to have someone help you through the process of registering or having people know that you had never voted before when you're in your 40s or your 50s, it was in my just my point of view, my experience, holding people back from voting. And Trump opened the floodgates for some people to sort of say, okay, I'll go ahead and admit that I never voted before, even though I talk politics all day long. But now I'm going to go do it because of this guy, because he's saying what I've been saying on my drunken kitchen table. So I don't know. Maybe there's a version of that of people that will vote blue. I don't know.
I think there's more blue people than red people in Texas. I think if everyone voted, it would be pretty overwhelmingly blue, but that's just me.
I know it feels that way, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the younger generation is going to finally make the difference. Okay. Yeah. Now, since I spilled everything, I don't know where that timer is. Here we go. All right.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing she said in the podcast, which is a good one, it's worth listening to, is, she wrote the book called Demagogue for President. And, Trump is there. Oh, my God. Do you need a refill?
I'm going to need a refill. Did you see how little's left?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
people watching this upstairs there,
Upstairs, you can hear the steps. Yeah. Maybe you even saw someone come down. I don't know.
Trump is a demagogue, which means, as Jen defined it, he's an unaccountable leader. He misleads and he never, ever accepts responsibility for anything. And he's like this cult of personality kind of figure, right? And the Republicans don't have anyone else like that. There is no one else in the field that's a demagogue, that's capable of being a demagogue. Ron DeSantis is trying so hard.
Trying with the woke. If I keep saying woke, does it make me?
He's not a demagogue. Casey might be, but she's too far removed. Avita. Yeah. So anyway, that's the good news. But I think that a big get out the vote thing, if you're the Democrats in Texas especially, is absolutely essential. However that happens, I don't know.
Beto did that. I don't know that anyone can do it bigger and better than Beto did.
I don't know. Maybe.
But also, we had that corrupt AG admitting that he got rid of like 2 million votes or something.
I think it was. I think it was full of shit. I think
I'm just saying.
I listened to the interview. I think he's. I think he's bragging. He's trying to be like, look at me, I'm so cool, because he doesn't have other things that make him attractive to women. By the way, it's time for topic number 2, isn't it? You know what topic number 2 is?
Hurly burly.
Baby, what a bad boy you are.
We haven't done Hurly Burly in a while.
We haven't done Hurly Burly.
It's called Why Can't I Touch It? Which of course is a song by, do you know who sings the song, LB?
I actually don't know who sings the song, but I know the song. I can't.
By the Buzzcocks. So okay.
Oh, well.
What are we talking about? What's topic number 2?
All right. Well, okay. I mean, just hang on. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it on.
Okay. Oh, you're going to take it on. It's a lot to take on.
Look,
it's a lot to handle.
Despite my very public, very vocal resistance to the toxic patriarchy, right? I have a confession. I love men. I do. I think they're wonderful. The good ones. There's a lot of good ones. So I've also resisted. Oh, here, see the legs. Here comes more. He knows what I'm
just
going
in
to talk
time.
about. He's brought
Just in
me.
time.
Oh, and the nice glasses this time. That's perfect. I got my cocktail. Well, I haven't looked
Your
at
what?
my cocktail.
Oh, okay.
I haven't looked at. I've resisted looking at the Hunter Biden revenge porn, blackmail, whatever we want to call this. It's just it's dark to me, not because of what's happening on it, but because of how this is all came to be and how he's being used. And I believe in privacy, consenting adults, like the whole thing. It's all just appalling to me. And I also find nothing wrong with it. I don't find anything wrong with people having sex. I don't. I'm sorry. Call me or whatever. They can clutch their pearls all they want. But I seem to remember Marjorie Taylor Greene grabbing even a poster of Trump's, she's into it. And so into it that she brought those pictures onto the congressional floor and showed pornography, basically.
Yeah.
And really wants us all to see it. Really wants us all to see the president's son's endowment, what he endowed his son with. Right? Because all I can think about is that this is, you want me to see the family. This is it, right? So I ended up, and it even was by accident, I ended up seeing the pictures without, first there was this big, the one with the big black rectangle that was so large. I was like, oh, okay, we're kind of blocking. There's something to block out here. Anyway, so now I know why even the sex worker was smiling. I mean, look, we all hate our jobs, or not maybe all of us. Sometimes we like it. I'm on strike. I'm clearly dissatisfied with my job at the moment, so much so that I'm striking with thousands of other people. But she had a smile, and I don't think it was, and I understand. I do. I understand. What a beautiful man. What a beautiful man. Not since Michael Fassbender, I think, have I sort of gone, oh my goodness. Right? It's like watch that movie with a girlfriend of mine, and we're like, oh. So look, it is what it is.
Oh,
but
it is.
There's no shame in it, despite the name of that movie. And I understand their obsession, especially because we know, because the actual former president, the one that was an elected office and actually had all the power, was outed by the porn stars and pornographers, right? The woman who was just a nude model, but not his wife that has all those nude pics that some people say those were catalogs for shopping for a bride, whatever. He got outed by those women who were not smiling, were not satisfied as having a tiny little, chewed up mushroom. Mario Brothers, Mario Kart. Isn't that what Stormy Daniels called it?
It was like Toad on Mario. Yeah. I played Mario Party last night. I kept thinking about it. Yeah.
Did you figure
Hard
about
to play
that?
it. I was like, wow, that's not a big thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I get it. I get the obsession. I get it, Marjorie. I see why you can't get enough. You're going to figure out any way you can to put your hands on those pictures and show, look, everybody, look. It's just what she's doing. I don't know. How could you be upset with Hunter? Come on.
I don't know. Yeah, she's grabbing it like it's a backpack with a bomb in it. I don't know. It's crazy stuff. Did you know Burisma, apparently in Ukrainian, it means well hung. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. By the way, I'd like to point out, I did break this news on this very show months ago that I had clicked on the link when the New York Post story came out many months before.
Oh.
And was taken aback by the, majesty of this thing.
Yeah.
And I get why these guys are all they're all, here's what we need. You want
They're
to
freaking out
balance
because that's the president. Because now that's all I could think about. Lucky Joe. I
Mm,
get it. This
yeah.
is like, why would you think that this is a thing that's gonna be not great? I think we'll see some poll numbers go up. I can't.
The
If we
poll's going
start,
up, LB. The
the
poll
poll's
is going up.
We can't start. It'll be terrible. Our poor guest has to follow this.
Oh my God.
Oh God, where am
know.
I on the 8 minutes?
I
1
think we
minute,
should
13
have
seconds
a
left.
video. You know, like there's that YouTube series where the twin brothers who like listen to like the Dolly Parton's Jolene for the first time, and they react to it. We should have videos of the Republican politicians watching the Hunter Biden laptop porn, revenge porn, and we get to see
for
the reaction.
First time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you want to see what Josh
I
Hawley?
want to see voters. I want to see the voters.
I want to see what
that actually would be a great underground ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
we should do it. Speaking of underground content.
Wait, before we get there, one quick note before we move along. Okay, because I do think we're joking about this and rightly so. But these are two people who are not in politics.
No.
They're private fucking citizens.
Yeah.
And this very powerful, stupid, deranged, but very powerful woman has exposed their private life. Hunter Biden's not the only person in that fucking video, by the way. And I think we need to say that up front. There's a sex worker in that video. This has not been a great week for that community because of the fucking Long Island serial. They caught the Long Island serial killer, right?
Yeah.
Which is wonderful news. Someone put this on Blue Sky, and I cannot remember who. That guy looks like if Trump and Tucker Carlson like merged. Okay.
Oh.
He does. Everyone just stop for a second. Pause. Think about the serial killer. Think about Trump and Tucker together. You'll never be able to unsee it. But he, that was his
Sadism
thing. He went around killing sex workers. And, these are people who are doing a job. You said you don't like your job. You're on strike. They're not on strike. They're doing their job. And, they're not disposable. This isn't real life. Isn't the fucking Ralphie episode of The Sopranos. So whoever that woman is, it's despicable that ridiculous, horrible person would show her personage on the floor of the house. I mean, that's just, it's an atrocity. It really is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's it. I just wanted to get that in there.
Okay. Good job. I'm not going to make a joke about that.
No.
You got one in. You got it in there, Greg. All right. Here we are.
Oh, we got it in there.
Yeah, you were supposed to have some zingers for me in there, but
no, you were rolling. I didn't want to interrupt you.
All right.
I'm not going to interrupt you when you're rolling. That's the first rule of the show: is if someone's on a rant, let them rant. Right?
Let them go. Yeah,
it's been a while. We know this now. All
right. So underground. So listen, everybody. We have something to share. We're gonna hopefully do more of this. We have another one in the cooker, but we're going for some viral content. And we're kind of polishing it up, spending a little bit more time on it. So you guys get a first look, and we'll see, what comes of this when we release it. It'll be very clear why we're waiting to sort of release it on Twitter and on the socials. We expect all of you to boost it like crazy. We need it to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do.
So this is our little bite for the week.
With Donald Trump we are ingrained. Each time we watch him get arraigned, he submits a not guilty plea. They don't take him into custody. No handcuffs, no mugshot, and no regret. And yet, this is his third indictment. Our expectations are so low. We can't get rid of him, we know. her justice makes a move. F POTUS poll numbers improve, and he's a criminal. It is absurd. This is his third indictment. If everything Trump touches dies, what lives forever are his lies. He's done the country so much harm. We have to hope the third time's a charm. I know just how to make America great. Just wait, this ain't his last indictment.
Boom.
Boom.
Team effort on that one. Team
Team
effort on that one.
effort. Yeah.
That was good stuff. Yeah. Good job, Chunk.
Good job, Chuck.
Good job, Bobby, with the, yeah. Good job, my wife, Stephanie, filling out
Good
the hard
job. Stephanie said John.
Yeah.
All right. Might be a little
Motherfucker,
tweaking.
by the way, he's been right every time so far with the first two indictments. He's like, I'm going to get indicted on Tuesday. And then he's indicted on Tuesday. And he's like, I'm going to be indicted in 4 days. And today is 4 days. And there's no, he's wrong.
Do they
Fucking-
indict on a Saturday?
No, I don't think
I
so.
wonder. Is
I
it
don't know.
happening right now while we're on live on
I
air?
think so. I don't think so, but
think
you know,
so.
I have no idea.
All right. So when it happens, that's going out.
When it happens, it's going out. And and people have commented about his face. I hate his face. And on Prevail, I almost never show pictures of him. I've done it once I show him pardoning the turkey because it was just too funny not to use the picture. But like, I hate his face, but I feel like in this case, like last night, Trump released a video of that. And we were like, we're doing this video. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It was crazy. So again,
Yeah. I just wanted to
simulation.
see it. I thought it just do the Sinead O'Connor haunting floating head. And also there was that sound of, I got the idea from that. There was that Sound of Silence cover. I don't even know the band. I know everybody knows the band. I'm sorry. It was almost too strong.
It's the Dickies, I think.
Yeah.
Unless there's more than one punk band covering it.
There's something about just a black and white close up and that's haunting. And so there it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All
Moving
right.
on.
Our guest
has waited long enough. She is a Brooklyn native, Maryland resident, a K-Hive charter member, political junkie and commentator, and a TikTok and Twitter all-star. Candidly Tiff, welcome to the 5-8.
Candidly Tiff.
Hello.
How's it going?
Friday.
Happy Friday.
I know. We made it through the week.
Somehow. This was a
Yes.
crazy week too. So all right, so you watched some of the stuff back. Now we were joking a lot about that. Now, what did you think about the Marjorie Taylor Greene, Hunter Biden? Do you have a comment on that, or do you want to just know?
Let's see. Well, since I have seen his endowment prior to her releasing her porn. It wasn't even a video, it was a porn picture to the world. I was shocked that she actually did that. But then again, it is Marjorie Taylor Greene. So nothing should ever shock us about what she does, because she is a mess. But I thought it was pretty horrific what she did.
Yeah. I wonder if she asked her sex guru before she did it.
I thought about that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the nerve of someone. Like, do you have a mirror? Because you are not Miss Perfect. So how dare you?
Yeah.
Really bad.
I think she probably doesn't have a mirror. I think
figuratively
or literally.
She most definitely doesn't have. If you see what she wears, she most definitely does not have a mirror, and her hair is a mess. Ugh.
Well, she knows that size matters, and so we'll give her that.
Oh, it's crazy. Okay, before we start on the political stuff, Tiff, Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Barbie for sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Have you
yay,
seen it yet?
Barbie.
No, I have not. But the husband has been talking about wanting to see this for 2 months. And
Really?
Really?
even my daughter was like, when I told her they were going to see it, she's like, he wants to see Barbie? I'm like, yes. I don't know what it is that made him want to see it, but he wants to see it. So we're going to see Barbie.
It's two of
Okay.
the best looking people on planet Earth for 2 hours. Like I was like, if you're a dad, like what's wrong with this? It's not, you could do worse, certainly.
That's true.
I think it has it actually has an intriguing theme of Barbie in the real world and what is it to be real, right? And so let's see what they do with that. But it should be pretty clever. It should be fun.
I like the part where she bombs Japan. I think that's the best part of the whole movie.
All right.
Okay.
I would like Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling to come out on the picket lines and support us there.
That would be good. What Ryan Gosling is not on the picket lines?
I don't believe so. I
Come on,
don't
Ryan
know if
Gosling.
they stopped doing press. They're not supposed to do press. They're not supposed to go to premieres. I don't know how much people adhere to that. The Oppenheimer folks did.
Yeah, I know. So they, they score the points for that. And Jim Caravazia.
I don't want to talk about that one.
Okay, good, because I don't want to either. Okay,
talking about that
now, Tiff, as we know, as anyone who listens to my podcast knows, and follows you on Twitter knows, your OG K-Hive. Kamala had a good week. She was down in Florida, basically breathing fire. So what happened down there, and what are your thoughts about it?
All right. So what happened down there, which is so absurd, is that they decided that they were going to change the curriculum in Florida for 2013. 2023, right? And so I wish it was 2013.
I know. We took us back there a minute. Yeah,
life is a little bit better then. But so they decided they were going to change it. So it's the Florida education policy. They came out with the curriculum. It's on page 6 of this Florida academic standards for social studies for middle school. So ages grades 6 through 8. It says instruction, and then it says includes how slaves developed skills, which in some instances could be applied for personal benefit. Like, really?
Yeah.
Really? What are we doing here? It makes no sense. So they're basically saying that, they basically learned skills that they could use during slavery. And therefore they were going to go through all the different duties they had. They were steel work, they were doing, on the steel mills, they were picking cotton because, that's a skill that you needed to have when you left the plantation, and you can go pick cotton elsewhere. I mean, it's kind of like insane that they even think this is okay to do, but it's not surprising in Ron DeSantis's Florida. This is what it comes down to. And so they're trying to spin it and say, oh no, this is not really what we were trying to do. But the proof is in the pudding, if you get that joke in Florida.
Yeah. Three fingers to Santa.
I had to think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
Good on you for making us stop and think. Okay.
Yeah. So it's par for the course. And so VP went down there, just came out yesterday. 36 hours later, she's on a plane and she's heading to Florida to talk about this. And she did an event in Jacksonville, in a historic theater in Jacksonville. I don't know how they pull these events together so quickly to have a bunch of people there. It was they even had people in the overflow room. So people do like Kamala Harris, despite what
I love Kamala Harris.
Yeah, people like Kamala Harris, and so she actually went into the overflow room, said hi to everyone, and then came out and did her speech, which was a really powerful speech. She talked about slavery. This was not a time when they were taking people's kids from them. They were raping women. Yeah. They took people's humanity away from them. So the fact that they could say, that they were developing skills is an insult. And as she said yesterday in her speech when she was with the Deltas She said, you know, this is her quote. She said, they insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it. And I think that's a perfect way to talk about, you know, how we have been kind of given this information. And at one point she made today, which I thought was really good, is that she talked about propaganda. And I don't think we talk about propaganda enough, because this is propaganda, and it's really frustrating. And she has this thing, she will not call Ron DeSantis out by name, but she basically alludes to him as like the what she called him, the extreme leader. he's the extreme leader. So he won't mention him by name, but he is the extreme leader. And you know, she kind of put that back on him. And you know, he did respond. He did say something in a tweet today about her. So I'm like, come on, Gavin, get him. That's your friend. Like, and he even talked. And the thing that was gross about it, he talked about Biden's, you know, so-called new granddaughter that he hasn't met. He's like, Biden needs to go visit with his granddaughter. Like, they're so gross. Like, it's like there was a whole custody case. This was not something, I'm sure Biden wants to meet the child, but there was a whole situation that had to be worked out before he did so. So I think it's so, why are we putting kids and family into a situation that's political? I think that's really nasty stuff. But that's what I'm saying.
It is nasty. And also, I think Biden is like, you know, I think he's like busy. I think he's got like, he's not like the usual 80-year-old guy. He's got like, he's got stuff going on.
He sure does.
Maybe he can't just get on a plane and go see the grant. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not like the most important man in the world. Like, he's just going to go and visit his grandkid. Guess what? His other grandkids come to visit him. Not the other way around. So. Yeah.
No, he's trying to make the world a better place for his grandkids, is what he's trying to do, because he's uniquely positioned to do it. So, what do you think that this Kamala thing, because it seems to have penetrated the mainstream press for once, because there's always this, like, as we talked about before, there's this like, where's Kamala? What's she doing? She's fucking everywhere all the time. Just open your eyes and look, and you'll see her.
Yep.
Your dog agrees. Your dog is named Dallas. Your dog is named Dallas after a city in Texas. Also needs to be liberated. I said that the audience of our show will not mind hearing the dog or seeing the dog. It's totally fine. Yeah. Do you think that this is this penetration of the media is good? Because even the Lincoln Project made a video about her.
No, I think it is. I think there's so somebody asked me in the comments, like, why isn't Biden speaking on this? And I said, this is a Kamala issue. He's letting her lead. Remember, we had that conversation.
Let her lead.
We had that conversation on the podcast, and I said, on certain things he needs to let her lead, and on this one, this is one of those things where he let her lead, because this is an issue that he probably should keep himself out of. There are certain lanes, infrastructure. You go get that, Joe Biden. Bidenomics, you go get that. On racial issues, let's leave that one to Kamala and let her fight that out with Ron DeSantis and the Republicans. What I do find funny is, and if you look at this account, I want you guys to go to the RNC, like their rapid response account.
Oh yeah, I saw your tweet about this.
They are obsessed with Kamala Harris. They are so obsessed with her, and they're putting clips of her video, but they're actually good clips. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is happening here? They have no logical sense, and it is actually funny to watch them do this. And it's happened, like, there's probably more Kamala Harris videos on there than Joe Biden. I think they like Pete too. They're like obsessed with Pete as well. But it is a good issue for her. And I think my tweet went viral today. I was like, all I said was Kamala is very angry. It was the video she put out last night. This thing has like almost 2 million views. Like, it's insane. Wow.
In Elmo's Twitter, that's almost impossible.
I know. I was like,
that's like 20 million views in the old system.
I was like, what is happening here? So yeah, people were drawn to her video. I don't think that they're used to seeing her they're used to seeing her jovial, kind of happy, laughing Kamala, but this was serious Kamala, and we haven't seen serious Kamala since Senate hearings, when she would.
I love serious Kamala. Anytime Kamala shifts into attorney general mode, into smartest person in the room mode, which is what she pretty much is.
Yep.
Anytime she shifts into that, I think it's a huge strength. I think it lifts the room. She was rightly outraged today when I saw her speaking.
Yeah.
And now I almost want her to just speak like that prosecutor of like, just like this is because she has such clarity. It's not hard to have clarity around this, but she has real clarity around this. And just give it straight to the American people about what's happening and what we're witnessing. I love it. I love that she's coming at the Republicans directly and calling out and naming what they're doing rather than just wanting about what the Dems can do, what, our policy is this, right? Not that she does that. I'm just saying that's the Democratic typical mode is despite what the other side's doing, we're just going to tout our policies. And it's not the moment for that. It's a moment for the Kamalas, and even Joe to just come right at the American people, just straight as an arrow. This is what they're doing. This is what is happening. This is what you're hearing. This is why we can't stand for it. This is not who we are. We're going to, we need to defeat them. I think it's a powerful, it will work. It will work. And I think people will, I just love her. I think she's great. I love her when she's in that lane. I loved her when she was on the Senate hearings, Senate committees, and just giving it to Bill Barr. I just loved her. So
and Jeff Sessions and Brett Kavanaugh and
Brett
Kavanaugh.
She got Brett good that day. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we need to see. I think people in general, Democrats want to see Democrats fighting, right? I think that's what you hear from people like out there. Like, I want Democrats to be fighting. There's no greater fighter than Kamala Harris, but we have to kind of let her go. We've talked about the stepping over Biden kind of thing. But I think he's okay with this. I think he's fine with letting her just be her. And I think that's some of, a lot of criticism out there about who Kamala is and what she's about. But letting her speak her mind and being who she is, like you said, a prosecutor, a former AG, a former senator, she knows how to rein people in. And I think and she can't shy away from that. Be the Kamala that we all want you to be, which is the prosecutor, and prosecute the case. As she said, justice is on the ballot. If that, her campaign, that was her slogan.
Yeah.
And we got to continue to do it. And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be great. Now, you said you had an interesting, when you were on the podcast, we talked about I'm totally pivoting now because I just think this is a cool point, LB. I want your take on this. You were saying, Tiff, that in the second Biden-Harris term, which is, by the way, it's going to happen. This fucking criminal is not going to win. Okay, he's going to be the nominee, and he's going to fucking get destroyed. That's what's going to happen. I'm not worried about this at all. Like, people aren't that dumb, right? So, you talked about him giving her more opportunities to lead. And I thought this was such a cool, because this had not occurred to me, a way to sort of like shake things up and disrupt kind of what the usual relationship between president and vice president is. I thought it was such a neat idea. So can you talk about that a little bit? Because it's a cool idea.
Yeah. So the thought that I had is if the goal is for Kamala Harris to be the president in 2018, my years are all off today.
You are 10 years.
I am 10 years off every time. 2028. Then my suggestion is that they obviously get reelected in 2024. I got that one right. And then he kind of takes a little bit of a step back the last 2 years. So 2026 comes and he's like, hey, Kamala, I want you to basically lead the charge. I'm going to just sit here, chill, and relax while you go out there and you're the face of this administration. It is called the Biden-Harris administration. It wouldn't hurt anything. He has kind of put her out there as being his not the person who's behind him nor in front of him, but someone who's his equal. So why not let her kind of lead the charge in that way, show that a woman can lead and show that she is capable of being the president of the United States, which many people need to see to feel comfortable with it. Unfortunately, because we do live in a patriarchal society, and people need to be able to see women in that capacity. And I think now he's doing that with these kind of issues, but in even greater scale going forward.
I love
Thank
it.
you for that's great.
Yeah.
And the restraint that Biden has, I think, is wonderful. Like the ability to be the self-confidence, the self-assuredness,
the BDE
kind of that was on display in Hunter Biden's video, even where Biden's just like, I don't need to. What did you say?
I can't say it.
Say it again. I missed it. Yeah,
I said the BDE.
Yes, exactly that. Where he's like, dude, I don't need it. You go.
I learned that from the Republicans.
I'm good. Right. BDE. These guys are big with the BDE. That's all they talk about. These guys. Okay. So now we have a segment that we do on the show that we've been doing for many years. Actually, we've been doing it for like 3 weeks. And the segment is called Baller Move of the Week. So the baller move of the week this week, it goes to President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. For this.
Joe Biden had the largest public investment in social infrastructure and environmental programs that is actually finishing what FDR started, that LBJ expanded on, and Joe Biden is attempting to complete. Programs to address education, medical care, urban problems, rural poverty, transportation, Medicare, Medicaid, labor unions. And he still is working on it. Joe Biden.
I like how she said urban problems. Like, guys, in case you weren't totally sure that I'm a racist, I'm a racist. Yeah. So, okay. So you saw that, obviously, Tiff. What did you think of it?
That was funny.
I thought the video was great. If you noticed in the beginning, you saw Kamala twice walking out with him. That was the first thing I noticed when I saw the video. I don't know what the hell she was thinking when she said that on that stage, but God bless her for being a fool. That's all I gotta say about it. She is a damn fool. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, who wrote? Did you sit down and really write this thinking that it was negative? Like, I don't understand her. She's crazy.
I love it. I love it. I think we just take ownership of all the stuff. Like this is sort of the theme of the show is just sort of step in, grab what they're passing out. Just grab it, right?
Yeah.
And either own it and use it or call it propaganda for what it is. And but get out front with it.
What is her quote about the gaslighting? We won't allow you to gaslight. What was the quote? Did you write it down?
They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it.
That's it. Put that on a fucking bumper sticker. Because that's
I like
it.
it on a t-shirt.
I like it on my lawn. I have a very prominent lawn in this small
You do
town.
have a prominent lawn.
I
in
do.
your very, very blue place. So
hey, look, somebody put a fucking Trump sticker on my car after the election. This isn't that blue.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We still have fuckers driving around with the two flags that are the size of my, the roof. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Okay.
All right, we're going to move on. Tiff, are you staying with us for the last two segments?
I'm going to drop because the dog is being a pain in the neck.
Oh, no, Dallas.
Dallas
okay.
She's in my face, and the lettuce is almost done. So we made it through the segment.
Can we see Dallas, or is that off?
Yeah, if she wants to be cooperative, Dallas, you want to say hi? Come.
Okay.
Dallas, let's say hi to everybody. Kisses. She has a
oh my God.
She has a donut because she's having bad allergies. Say hi, Dallas.
Your donut of shame.
Is she allergic to gaslighting? What is?
She might be.
She might be.
She's
okay, so where can we find you? What's your Twitter handle so people know?
My Twitter handle is @Candidly Tiff. on Twitter, and then on TikTok and on Instagram, it is candidly_Tiff.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
No, thanks so much for
coming
joining us. It
on.
was great to
Loved
hear from
it.
you.
You
We'll
see
check
she's
in with you
calling.
soon. Okay.
All right.
Have a good
bye-bye.
weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh,
Okay.
she's great.
She's great.
Yay.
She's great. Yeah. All right. We got 2 more segments.
2 more segments. Let's do it.
We're not going to get this in under an hour. We never get it in under an hour.
Oh.
I think the show is really like an hour. And look, Oppenheimer's like fucking 17 hours long, so I think it's okay.
Okay.
It's
All
gonna
right.
be
What's our last one? All right. No,
No, we have
4.
4.
American Idiot. Oh,
That's the indictment.
yeah.
These are all other than Hey Joe. These are all punk songs, which is not my genre. I'm just going to say up front.
Yeah. You did a good job. So, he's not indicted yet. We're sure this is coming.
Well, he said, that's the thing. He said, and he has not lied yet. So look, he said, Jack Smith is going to indict me, and blah, I don't know, the word salad garbage bullshit on his Truth Social, which I joked on the podcast should just be with Jen should be called Truth Social should be called ad hominem. It's just, that's all that it is.
Yeah.
Attacks on people and stupidity. But he did say it.
He did one of his classics. He rolled out a classic. Remember the Do Something? Remember when he tweeted
Right.
that
Who is
years
that?
ago?
Is that to Waltine? Like, who's supposed to do something?
He did post that again. Do something.
Does
Like,
that mean he shat in his diaper and Waltine needs to get the wipes? I don't know.
He wasn't, it was a little funnier when he was president and he was shouting for someone to do something. I don't know. But I do come back. I have this visual of Erdogan when the military was turning on him and trying to oust him in Turkey. And the Turkish leader, this was years ago, I think it was 2015, might have been 2016. And he called out to his people, come stand by me, stop them, stop them, stop them. And enough of his people took to the street and got in front of the tanks and got in front of the sort of the military armament that was headed to stop that, because they weren't going to shoot at their own people. And he maintained power, and then he rounded up all the judges and threw them all in jail and just the judiciary, because he was going to come. There was going to be, and it's not unlike Bibi Netanyahu, who, despite being a flagrant criminal and being found a criminal in their courts, decides somehow, uses the extreme, most virulently racist party there and merged with his party, which is pretty extreme and horrible, and was able to put together a government and get himself back into power. I think just so his wife could be back in that house that she didn't want to. She didn't want to leave in there. She didn't want to leave her. She thought was her house.
She should form a support group with Marjorie Taylor Greene. These are
horrible.
And Casey DeSantis and
she's also a criminal. She took bribes and offered bribes. She's a horrible woman. And so what is he trying to do now? Just get rid of the judiciary. And that's why we've seen people on the streets in Israel for I don't know how many days now. We're up in the 60s.
It's been a long time. God bless them. And of course the media here isn't reporting it at all, but it's a big deal,
the media is not running any of these stories. So
it's not great when Israel is run by a fucking criminal.
Yeah, another criminal leader finding a way to seize power and stay in power. Now Trump, it's different. We have a different system. He has to be, there's no parliament here, and he's not in power. His coup didn't work, right? His January 6th didn't work. But, rest assured, if he finds a way back into power, he's never giving it up. He's never giving it up.
No. Until the cheeseburger gets him.
Until the cheeseburger gets him. That's all I can. Mother Nature has lost her aim when it comes to him, But all I can think about is there will be, I do believe he'll do a call to arms. And I think he's been doing it. He's been doing it.
He did it this week. This thing
is not indicted yet. He's not arrested yet. He's not. We'll see. And then I think it all calms down. I think there'll be an uproar of sorts, and then I think it will calm down, and then I think more indictments will come, and I think people will see what his crimes actually are. And I hope if he doesn't get indicted for January 6th after all of this,
no, but the fact that he wrote that, he didn't have to write that.
But he wrote that, but he raises money when he does that too.
I don't think he's making it up.
All right.
I think it's I do think that's coming. I don't know what will happen about it. Look, I don't think this guy's ever going to.
Look, we made the video, so this needs to happen.
No, we made the video. We jinxed it. It's all our fucking fault. Sorry.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about the indictment? Give me your thoughts.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. There's two, by the way. There's the Jack Smith indictment, and then Hugo Lowell at the Guardian writing that there's an indictment coming in Georgia. That's the biggie. That's the RICO that everyone's sending out Rico Suave memes. Rico.
And then we have the fake electors getting rounded up.
Oh, that was fucking delicious. Put these fucking people in jail for a long time. They're old. Let them fucking die there. I really, you try to overthrow the government. Fuck you. Go to jail and die there. They're like 70, 80. They're old, these people. And they're, that's the spin. The spin on it is they're old. No, you're old and you could have retired and now you're going to be in prison and you're going to die there.
Well, or where's your wisdom? So there's that too.
Oh, someone was duped though. They were duped by Trump, LB. Can you imagine? Fucking idiot. If you're that dumb.
I think it's more, there's a, it's this entitlement thing. It's sort of like, I don't like it, so I'm going to take what I want, and I have the right to, because I'm a real American and nobody else is. And so I'm just going to have what I want and take what I want and do what I want and do it the way I want it, and who can stop me? And they're learning. They're learning. This is a hard lesson.
I love it. I love that Gretchen Whitmer, by the way. I love the whole Michigan tribe. Michigan is like the anti-Texas. It's great. Makes me want to move to Detroit, frankly. Michigan seems like a dream to me now. It really does.
Cold in Michigan. Cold in New York.
Yeah, for how long? But it's fine.
It's beautiful right now.
Here's what you need. You need fresh water. Michigan doesn't have any. Wait, fuck. It's by the largest freshwater lake of the fucking planet. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to say, it is nice to be around all this water. It's really something to live in California for as long as I lived there, and the droughts to be there for most of my time there for a very long time. And now to be around all this water, it's amazing.
Right. It's great.
Yeah. It's a whole, I'll come up with something more eloquent to say about it all, but not right now when I have another
thing to ask you.
Okay. Ask me.
Okay. Our friend Aileen Cannon.
Oh.
She's not really our friend. Announced the date for the trial.
Oh, I didn't know that. I missed this. Okay.
Oh, you missed this.
I missed
May of 2024. So basically,
May
someone is going to have a whole entire fucking senior year of college, graduate, and then this is going to happen. Pete Strzok, friend of the show, tweeted, "Yeah, this is not happening before the election." He thinks, I guess, inferring that it'll just punt. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous. Why are we waiting that long? That's 2 semesters from now.
I don't know why we waited so long to bring charges when everyone was saying the moment it came to light that he'd taken these documents and there was proof of it. Photographs
my lawyer friend
by the FBI. Everybody was saying, charge him right now. What? No one else would wait this long. And was that a year ago?
It was a long time ago. My lawyer friend was like, this is the easiest case of all time. Yeah. You need one witness and it's over.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My lawyer friend, by the way, not some tree hugger, just historically. Yeah.
All right. Last topic, unless we have
we have announcements.
What are our announcements?
There's no after hours tonight because we've already drank too much.
Yeah.
Unless you want to. You want to? You don't want to.
I do not want to. I want to go to sleep.
Okay. That's
This
the
is
thing.
late. I'm
It
still
is.
adjusting to the time
Yeah.
of doing this as late as we're doing it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch some Z's tonight, but maybe next week.
No,
Maybe
next
maybe-
week. I feel like, because again, I have it written down in the announcements. The 58th episode of the 5-8.
Yeah.
It may also be the end of season, whatever season this is, 3. Could be.
Maybe it could be. Might be a good time to take a little break and
I
have a little
think it is the
summer
time.
break.
I
Okay.
think it is the time.
So maybe that's
And,
the announcement that we
It's
have.
going to
for
be one
everybody.
of these enormous shows that has to be. Pressure's on us. And we'll have an after hours next week, right? Maybe?
Okay. Yeah. No, we definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next week, for Shizzle, we will have an after hours. We've done 2 in a row, I think. We weren't even going to do one next week. I'm actually, to be perfectly honest, I'm proud of you, because this is late for you body clock wise. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm still getting up at the same time.
I
I'm still
woke up
getting
at 4
the
o'clock
4
this morning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
8 o'clock every Friday. I'm like, shit, I'm up later than usual. I've drank more than I've drank my entire weekly quota in one night while people are watching me, which is maybe the greatest thing.
It was that Hunter Biden segment.
Yeah, there's that. And I don't know. So yeah,
All right.
so that's what we're gonna do. That's the plan. We're gonna take a couple weeks off. We're gonna come back. We're gonna have I think it's season 4.
4. I think so. Yeah. I think this is season 3. In fact, I know it because we change our openings.
We do.
You've
We have a
been
new opening. We
you've
have
been
to give
evolving
Chuck
our
time. We have
clubhouse.
to give him time to do a new opening. And yeah. So we'll have a fun show next week. I'm already excited for it. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah. And again, my Prevail, I'm off now for 4 weeks.
That's lovely.
It is. I need time. I'm not being lazy. I have to book more interviews. I have to get interviews ready in the hopper to release this. So that's just how this stuff works.
And it's summer. Yeah. So it's okay.
Also, I'm going away. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
August.
it's
Nothing's going to happen other than, I don't
Yeah.
know. Putin dies and Prigozhin and stuff. Okay.
Everything will happen when we take a break. That's the way it goes. That's the rule.
So don't we want a long break?
Yeah, we want to take a very long break. No. We'll be back, everybody. All right, let's hit our last segment. I don't
Okay.
have an announcement. I thought I did, and I don't remember what it is. So we're moving on.
There's no announcement. What's up with the strike? Is there any news?
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. You tweeted something. The last segment, by the way, we're now in segment 5. You can hit the button.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Okay. You tweeted something today that I had heard reports even last week, I think, on the show. Oh,
I
this guy
told you
made,
what the salary was
right.
of
But
David
no, the
Zaslav.
salary last week, they were like 30 million, which again, 30 million is roughly, give or take, 30 million more than I make in a year, but it's still like,
It's not $500 million. I told you, just less than
no.
$500 million.
But MSNBC put that out. It's on your Twitter feed. How much money these fuckers have made, including and they're all awful. The Murdochs, Ari, whatever, fucking hosing down,
Ari
pasty.
Emanuel, and his partner is Patrick Whitesell, who was the one that was at the end of the list of the top 10.
I was wondering.
So I think Patrick Whitesell only made like 131 million.
Can we do? I'm too lazy to do scare quotes. Only.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah.
So these are fucking bad people. And like, again, even Mark Zuckerberg, who's a fucking evil fucker, right?
Yeah.
At least he gave us something. Here's Facebook. I'm going to buy Instagram. I got WhatsApp. I've got shit that you guys use. What the fuck do these people do?
Well, here's what I'll say. I think it's the strike is a marker. I don't know that it's a cause, but it's definitely the demarker because it was all going to blow up one way or another. And the strike is hopefully going to push it in a way where we end up with the creatives and creators end up with a livelihood, which would be nice.
That would be nice.
It would be nice. But I don't have a problem with people making money off the content that I create if they're creating the channels of distribution for people to see it and engage with it and pay, and they're providing all of that business oversight to take the money and distribute the money. And that's fine. All of that is great. I'm so glad you're making all this money. Clearly, the content that folks like me create is valuable content that people pay an extraordinary amount for. It's not because they have magic abilities. It's because they have great content that other people are creating.
Barbie,
They
Oppenheimer.
run their business in a way that allows them to maximize profits. And so that's on them, but they're not the talent. And there's something that happened, and I watched it happen, God, about like 20 years ago. It was all of a sudden executives started being called talent.
Ugh,
and it came out of the business
you.
sphere, but it was all like, oh, he's talented. Oh, it's like in this industry, that was such a slippery slope for these folks to begin to believe that they're actually the talent.
They're not.
Because talent's a very specific thing in this industry, and it's ours. If they had talent, I promise you they'd be doing our job and struggling and prefer to do that. They don't have talent. These are artless people. They don't have that talent. They are good at making money. But that's not talent in this industry. So I think they're all messed up in the heads. They think it's theirs, and instead of just understanding and honoring the content and the content creators as partners who are providing that. If we weren't there, they'd have nothing to sell. They would then have no talent. That's proof that they're not the ones with the talent. If the talent pulls out, they have nothing but these systems that they've perfected to extract the most amount of profit possible and shove it in the pockets of their shareholders, so that they can take bigger and better salaries. I promise you, David Zaslav, who was the one making at Warner Brothers, who made just under $500 million, and that is over a couple of years. But
it's only a couple of years, though.
I promise you, he can't make anywhere near that salary in any other industry in any way, shape, or form, because he doesn't have any talent for that. He's not. This isn't a talented person. This is a greedy person. It's a person who's figured out money and applied it and knows how to wring it out of the companies that he runs. That's all. So if he just were to take a comparable salary that he would make in any other industry, should they even want to hire him?
Which they wouldn't.
He's not talented.
Such a good guy, though. A lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. The remaining, the difference, the money that's the difference, would fund what we're asking for. 10 times over.
Yeah. So basically,
for all of us, for all the writers and all the actors.
There's a lot of ways you can lose your house.
There's a lot of ways you can lose your house. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Now, you titled this segment "Youth Against Fascism." So, what did you want to say?
I don't know. These are all punk songs.
You wanted to talk about.
I literally Googled a list of punk. I'm not a punk guy. I Googled a list of punk songs. American Idiot, I know.
Yeah.
But I these are quick hits. I have quick hits for you.
Okay. Give me some quick hits.
On the topic of Hollywood, our guy Moscow Never Sleeps wrote me this morning or yesterday. He was like, "Hey, interview before 5/8. Talk about how Sounds of whatever the fucking Freedom is a money laundering operation."
Oh, quite possibly.
And then he said, "LB knows more about this than me." So, do you have any response to that? And again, shout out Moscow Never Sleeps.
Shout out Moscow Never Sleeps. I have to confess, I haven't looked at it. I'm so appalled, but I haven't looked at the companies and individuals involved in that. But I bet I could find some offshore accounts. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently people are going to see the movie and nobody's going to see the movie. Like there's these reports. I don't know if they're true. I don't know. I don't know.
It's running in a lot of theaters, and
Sure, it's a movie. There's only so many movies.
yeah, I'm not sure about it. People not seeing it.
I'm sure people are seeing it.
It's a pretty powerful piece of propaganda, from what I understand. So folks tend to like that.
Yeah.
Americans especially tend to go and then go again and and tell everybody else to go. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just avoiding it, Greg. I've given up on some fronts. I confess. It's
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. This is an unrehearsed segment. I'm putting you on the spot on live TV. So fuck me. After you've had like 2 vodka tonics, one of which spilled in your lap.
Well, one spilled in my lap and I left the remains, and the other one's still there. So tell me about, though, you wanted to talk about the Stanford.
I want to talk about one more thing before we get to that.
Okay.
I think we should end with that.
Okay,
right?
great.
Okay. Nah, we'll talk a bit. We're not doing it after hours. We're fine. So Dan Snyder. Do you know who Dan Snyder is?
Dan Snyder. I don't know. Maybe.
Former, as of like yesterday, owner of the Washington, formerly known as the Redskins.
I don't know.
One of the worst humans
of
all time.
Okay.
The NFL agreed this week to let him sell the team to another person, Josh Harris, who owns the 76ers and other teams, and fined him $60 million on the way out the door because he's such a fucking asshole. This is the guy who was on a yacht in the Mediterranean, and the House of Representatives wanted to have him come in, and he was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm around Malta. Fuck you. He's an awful human. He took one of the great franchises in the NFL. I know no one cares about football, but the Washington, formerly known as the Redskins, were a model franchise, Super Bowl winning franchise, and fucked it. He made the team. Yes, we're getting there, Chunk. He put the logo on his plane and made the team pay him for it. Like he's a scummy, and also sexual harassment up the nines, and also double books apparently, so that he doesn't tell the other owners, because they share revenue to a certain degree, and he lied about the revenue he was bringing in. He was like,
"Oh, is that why he's out?" Okay.
So probably, but
because of money, nothing else.
Yeah, they're all fuckers. But like,
I can't.
He's gone.
You sound like you're saying the NFL is some kind of incredible institution.
It is not. The NFL is awful,
and I'm having a hard time with that.
The NFL is.
It's terrible.
2 rungs up from like plantation owners in the old South. It's bad.
It's terrible. Yeah.
But they're aware of the stuff, and it's a well-run organization. They forced this guy to sell $6 billion.
That's his parachute?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, they must really want to get rid of him.
If anybody sees this guy anywhere, if anybody has you're going to...
Is he going to give all that money to Leonard Leo? I'm worried.
Probably.
I'm concerned.
Do not take his money. Do not give him good service at restaurants.
Okay.
He's a horrible human, sexual harassing, awful person.
Okay.
And that's it. But it's a good day for the NFL. It's a good day for American sports, because this fucking guy is gone.
He's out. All right.
He's out.
Let's see what happens. Let's see.
Last topic. Last
topic I've been trying to get.
This is youth against fascism. I know you got to go. I know. Stanford University, the president, resigned. Why? I guess there's like weird shit with his academic, bona fides, and putting his name on things that maybe scientifically are not rigorously great. Okay.
He's a hack. He was a hack.
Yeah.
And a fraud.
Yeah. So, but have you ever been to Stanford?
Actually, I've never gone to the Stanford campus. I never went.
Stanford, okay, is the best university in the country. Period. Full stop.
Really?
The place is astonishing. They have so much money. It's just as good as any of these fucking Ivy bullshit. And also they have great sports. They've got I went there and I was like, I can't even believe this place. It's amazing. Okay. So The president, he's gone. Why? Because the student paper got him. They got him. Fuck yeah. Right? Now, when I was at the Associated Press, I was a recruiter and I was in charge of the intern program, or I was somebody in charge, whatever. People would apply to the internship program and they'd come from these fancy colleges and all this kind of stuff. And we had one person applying who was from a not fancy college that I will not name. And she was the news editor at the student paper at this not fancy college. And while she was there, because of reporting done by the student paper, the president had to resign. Okay. And people in the meeting, and she also did well on this test that we do.
Yeah.
And people in the meeting were like, well, I don't know. She went to this place. And I'm like, if you're a student journalist, your job is to take down the fucking president of the university. And she did it. Hire her now. What the fuck are you waiting for? She wound up being excellent, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, duh. So, but like, again, these are kids at college. These are like 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're like Hugo Lowell's age.
Yeah.
Not really. He's like 3 years older than that.
He's 3 years older. Yeah.
Which is also crazy that we're anyway. So but this guy, what's his name? Theo Baker wrote a piece in the Stanford Daily just detailing all the fucking bullshit that this president had done in these, and the guy resigned.
He him.
Resigned because a fucking undergraduate nailed him. Fuck yeah. I love it. This is what, if you're like, again, it's like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And at the end of the day, your job is to knock out Mike Tyson. Theo Baker knocked out Mike Tyson.
Yay.
Good job, Stanford
Good
kids.
job.
Yeah, Gen
Good
Z
job,
motherfuckers.
paper.
And I love it so much. And I feel like maybe this is I don't know. It reminds you of what journalism is supposed to be. You're supposed to hold power to account. You're not supposed to just be like, whatever, I don't know. I remember I was recruiting at something, and these kids from another college were like showing me stuff they had written, and they were writing about a beauty pageant that had happened there. And there was a thing at the beauty pageant where if you had been pregnant, you weren't allowed to participate in the beauty pageant.
Ah.
And I was like, that's awful. But they didn't do anything with that. They just wrote about that. I'm like, yeah, you're out. The story is that if you're pregnant, you can't participate. That's the fucking story. Nobody gives a shit who wins the beauty pageant, And again, students have this power on these campuses to do good stuff. And at Stanford, which in my opinion is far and away the best college in this country, did it. And I think it's a great thing. I love it. And that's it. Kudos to this guy. Kudos to the kids, the fucking Stanford Daily, taking out this motherfucker, this lying, bullshitty motherfucking president. I'm swearing too much. I know we talked about this. Sorry.
We talked about this.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
I know it's all right because like people complain about swearing, and then I get like everybody for one complaint about swearing, I get 5 people saying keep swearing. So I can't help it. You had 2 vodka drinks. I had a very large tumbler.
I didn't. I did. I'm to the end of the one. I had one.
I'm done too.
My lab had one. We enjoyed it.
I think you did that on purpose to not.
I did.
Did we play the Biden ad? I think we did.
Yeah,
okay, so next week, 5858. Yeah, thank you, Pamela. I'll do what I want. Like I got a fucking it's not like we're like on whatever. Let me have my fun for fuck's sake. My mom doesn't like it either. She watches the show usually on Saturday, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know, it's too much swearing."
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
Sorry, Mom.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to bed, and we're gonna say goodnight.
Is it time?
And I don't have a quote. We keep forgetting to do.
God damn it! Wait, let me see if I can. I had a good one, and I forgot because
Okay,
I'm never gonna be able to find it.
Great.
I can't. It's gonna take too long.
It's going to take too long. Yeah.
It's going to take too long.
Okay.
The Kamala quote is the quote, but Tiff left, so we don't know.
Tiff left.
It's insulting to gaslight us because we know better.
They insult us and then they gaslight us with it. Yeah.
And then I think after that, she said, I believe I may be paraphrasing. This is it. We're going to end on this. Okay.
Okay.
They insult us and then they gaslight about it. Fuck them.